that's something I talk with clients about a lot, is just navigating adult friendships. And it's funny because a lot of the same stuff that we were confronted with when we were
Mm.
young, we're still confronted with now.
Yeah.
And I think it catches us by surprise sometimes, when we're like, wait, I feel left out like I did
Yeah.
when I was 12, you know? So I think we don't really outgrow a lot of the dynamics that, we might have felt when we were young. Hopefully we're just, better equipped as adults to move through those complexities.
Mhm. Mhm.
To I think for so long, like faith and spirituality and mental health were siloed off from one another.
Mm.
And a really big passion of mine is figuring out like a sensitive and appropriate way to bring those worlds together, based, especially when I think of my work with clients, like especially based on like what are your spiritual values. Because I think regardless of your orientation around faith, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Buddhist or whatever it looks like, spirituality is such a beautiful part of recovery and of becoming more integrated, more whole. Just this believing in something or someone bigger than you. There's something really transformative about that, especially in recovery. I grew up in a Christian home. My parents have a wild and crazy story of like how they came to faith. And I grew up in like church was very much like woven into my normal routine and day to day. I went to a Christian school, so it was everywhere. It was all
Okay.
around me. And there were some really pivotal moments where I had to decide if it was also mine,
Mm.
like making it personal, that it wasn't something that I identified with because it was all around me. I really wanted it to be a personal choice. So I definitely went on my own journey with it, especially through some losses and experiences that I had that kind of put me face to face with, okay, do I believe this or is this just something that I believe by association?
Mhm.
Um, and that was like a really difficult, but beautiful process to go through.
Mhm.
When I think about the work that I do with clients, that's a lot of what I try to bring in. Let's slow everything down.
Mhm.
Because I think it's difficult to heal or process if we're moving at really high speeds. But if we can slow down, the things that we can see and connect to is really different. So I would say that was a real gift being there, is the ability to slow down,
Mhm.
and how that was a catalyst for my own healing while I was there.
Awesome.
The thing that I love about the idea of the term holding space is, and this is a good challenge for me always, because my personal tendency and what I've done a lot of work around is to not rush in and rescue
Mm.
and over function when somebody is wrestling through something or struggling through something or feeling, a difficult emotion. So that the term holding space is this constant reminder that my job is not to rush in and rescue them from the discomfort, but
Mm.
it's to hold that tension with them so that they're not holding it by themselves. That waiting is a universal human experience, that all of us are waiting for something at any given time in our lives, whether it's something big like a baby or a career shift, financial breakthrough, getting married, or if it's waiting for blood work to come back, or, so I think the idea of waiting and how it challenges us and brings up a lot of mental health related stuff for us. It brings up the fear of the unknown. How do I navigate uncertainty? What do I, if I'm really outcomes or outcome oriented, what do I do when I'm invited into a process? Because waiting is very much a process. And it reveals, I think, a lot about ourselves. And in the very first devotional of the book, I address that right from the beginning. And it
Mm.
it comes out of a conversation with my therapist,
Mm.
where she offers me a completely different perspective of why I've waited, that it's not because of something wrong, but it's because of all that's right.
Mm.
And that it really matters, who I end up with, or what even if somebody's not looking for a spouse. So, the circumstances of how our waiting unfolds and the fulfillment of our longings unfold, like it all matters.
Mhm.
And so I would say that it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. And to really externalize those negative stories and exchange it for what's actually true about you.
Mhm. Mhm.